Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Sitin Hafiza binti Hamiza, 2190755, and my supervisor is Brigadier General Prof. IR Dr. Noor Azman bin Muhammad Noor. Welcome to my presentation to my panels and all viewers. So today, I'm going to present my thesis, which is mitigating the effects of climate change on infrastructure development. We'll start with the first part, which is the introduction. So, climate change refers to a long-term changes in temperatures and weather patterns, primarily caused by the human activities like the combustion of fossil fuels. Infrastructure, the global economy's backbone, is sensitive to the effects of climate change, with rising temperatures, changing precipitation patterns, and rising sea levels posing significant dangers to all types of infrastructure. To minimize vulnerability and mitigate the harmful effects of climate change, actions must be taken to design and operate infrastructure assets. This study draws a questionnaire survey conducted on government agencies on the expertise areas such as transportation, energy, ICT, and water infrastructure, focusing on the effects of climate change and implementing mitigation plans to address climate change in Malaysia. Next, the problem that inspired me to do this project is the existing infrastructure is not designed to withstand the extreme weather events and environmental changes caused by the climate change. As a result, our infrastructure is becoming increasingly vulnerable to damage and disruption, which can have the significant economic, social, and environmental consequences. Analyzing data on infrastructure damage, the study will help the policymakers and stakeholders to develop sustainable and resilient infrastructure. The research will contribute to broader efforts to address climate change and develop suitable strategies for mitigating its impact on critical infrastructure system. Significance of the study. How to mitigate the effects of climate change on infrastructure lies in the fact that climate change is already affecting our infrastructure, and it is expected to worsen in the future. By understanding how climate change affects our infrastructure, we can develop strategies to adapt and mitigate its impact. Studying climate change impact on infrastructure is crucial for adaptation and long-term sustainability. Understanding its effect and assessing government policies and regulations can help develop effective mitigation plans in Malaysia, supporting sustainable development strategies and reducing greenhouse gases emission. And next is the objective of the study. There are three objectives. The first one is to investigate various effects of climate change on infrastructure development in Malaysia. Second one is to analyze the most severe effects of climate change on infrastructure. And the third one is to propose mitigation measures for climate change effects on infrastructure in Malaysia. Next, how is the research conducted? As the objectives are clearly defined, followed by reviewing existing literature on the topic, a questionnaire is designed in a way that will help to answer the objective. Then the questionnaire distributed and collected using Google Forms and handed out by hand. Data then analyzed and discussed using SPSS software. Lastly, the findings of the study were summarized based on the collected data to draw conclusions and recommendations for the research. The next part is data analysis and discussion. Data was analyzed using SPSS software for four analyses. Firstly, simple descriptive statistic. According to descriptive analysis, the questionnaire received a total of 152 respondents. 41.06% for transportation infrastructure consists of respondents working at the Malaysian Public Works Department, JKR. 43.71% for water infrastructure consists of respondents working at the National Water Research Institute of Malaysia, NAHRIM, and the Department of Irrigation and Drainage, DID. The majority of the respondents are male, ranging in age from 31 to 45 years old, postgraduate or above, and have had working experience for 11 to 15 years. The diagram below is a summary of the data analysis with the effects and mitigation measures of climate change on different types of infrastructure. The investigation of the various effects of climate change on infrastructure to survey responses revealed that climate change does impact infrastructure. Respondents from various sectors and backgrounds contributed their perspective and experiences, providing a robust understanding of the effects of climate change on different types of infrastructure. The most severe effects of climate change on infrastructure are observed from the highest mean score from all five variables. The highest mean score from four variables, which is transportation, water, energy, and ICT infrastructure, was related to the storm surge and cyclones. Other than that, due to the damage to the infrastructure, it is understandable that more frequent repairs and maintenance due to the damages and disruption incur higher costs and resource demands. The resultant analysis offered answers to the third objective. All 19 statements for mitigation measures on infrastructure agreed by the respondents that they were potentially effective and should be taken into consideration as future initiatives. Last but not least, conclusion. Based on the analysis, there are 5 categories of infrastructure, 24 statements about the effects of climate change on infrastructure in Malaysia, 6 mitigation measures for all types of infrastructure, 4 mitigation measures for transportation infrastructure, 4 mitigation measures for energy and ICT, and 5 mitigation measures for water infrastructure have been proposed to address the effects of climate change. The study findings and proposed mitigation solutions show that there is an urgent need to address the difficulties posed by the climate change on Malaysia infrastructure.